The following programming is EI, educational and informative.
Today on Mystery Hunters.
Everything about where we're going today says
stay away.
So of course, we're heading in.
Strange events surround a small island in New York. Creepy shadows, beds shaking in the night, and one boat after another wrecked on its shores. Is the island cursed?
I'll be back at 1 a.m. to pick you up.
Okay.
Is there a scary underworld hidden in the jungles of Mexico? I'm diving into a sinkhole, a deep, dark, water-filled pit, in search of what the Mayans call the land of the dead.
And Doubting Dave shows you how to make a sinkhole of your own.
With just a few easy-to-find items, you too can make your own miniature sinkhole that works just like the big ones do.
Mystery Hunters.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
There's an island out there on the Hudson River that's supposed to be cursed. Local Native Americans have thought so for hundreds of years, and many refused to go there after dark. But a man named Francis Bannerman didn't believe in the curse, and in 1901 started building this castle. His family lived there for a while, but then bad things started to happen. Mysterious fires and explosions almost destroyed the castle. The Bannermans decided to leave. The island has been abandoned ever since. Today, people who try to get to the island run into trouble. It's as if there's something there that doesn't want people around. Could the island really be cursed? There's only one way to find out. Hit it, Sean. Sean O'Connor is a boat captain who travels these waters. There it is, the wrecked castle that the Bannermans had to abandon. Sean, stop the boat. Do you think there's something out there trying to keep people away from the island?
The Native Americans believed it was cursed. The Dutch settlers believed there was goblins on the island.
But those are just legends, right?
I don't know. In present day, there's many a boat wreck around the island.
He told me about a boat that used to bring people to the island. One day, it was wrecked in a storm, and many others have been wrecked the same way. Was it the curse keeping people away? Okay, take me to it. We're almost there, but will we be able to land? Will what happened to those other boats happen to us?
This Mexican jungle is filled with secret underground passageways. The Mayan people say they lead to the underworld, a dark, watery place where people go after they die. Is this just a myth? I'm here to find out. My guide is Dionisio. He's a Mayan. He knows where to find the entrances to the underground passages.
Araya, ya llegamos al cenote, vamos a seguir.
There it is, a sinkhole. Here they call them cenotes. Can this really be the entrance to the underworld?
Araya, no te acerques, es peligroso.
They're saying that it's dangerous not to get close.
Cuídate, no.
That there are spirits. The spirits? What spirits?
Los espíritus que viven en los cenotes.
They say that the spirits live in the cenote, and they don't like to be disturbed.
Adiós, tío. Adiós, Araya.
So, there are spirits here?
Sí hay, son espíritus que...
They believe that Chak, a powerful Mayan god, lives in these cenotes. Wow, sounds scary. Can I go inside?
Sí, puedes ir.
He won't take me there because it's the home of Chalk. I'm going to meet Melissa. She's a cave diver who's already explored these sinkholes. She should be able to tell me something about what's down there.
You made it.
Hi, Melissa. Melissa has gone diving in many of the sinkholes of this jungle. Is it safe to dive here?
Why don't I take you down there and show you? But first of all, we need to smoke the bees. See the African bees? They're very aggressive.
These killer bees kill more people than any other animal in this jungle. The bees don't like smoke. This will keep them away while we're exploring. I'm glad I'm with an expert who knows the ways of this jungle. It's working. They're taking off.
You're right.
I guess we're ready to climb down and see what or who is waiting for us. Could this really be the entrance to the underworld?
If you think curses are cool, you came here on the right day. Friday the 13th. Ow. But is this day really unlucky? That's what 12-year-old Kate Constantino of Burnaby, British Columbia wants to know. Take a look on the Mystery Illustrator. Dear Doubting Dave, a friend of mine had a party on Friday the 13th. And my mom wouldn't let me go. She said it's because Friday the 13th is bad luck. Is this true? Well, Kate, both Fridays and the number 13 have been considered unlucky for thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians believed that the number 13 was a symbol of death. And in Rome, it was considered the number of the devil. So what about Fridays? Ow! In the past, Friday was the most common day for people to be hanged. And, according to medieval legend, it's also the day that fairies and elves somehow got combined into one mega bad luck day. Of course, it could just as easily have been a good luck day. The ancient Chinese believed 13 was a lucky number, and in Scandinavia, people thought Fridays were lucky too. The truth is that Friday the 13th is no more lucky or unlucky than any other day. But when you have bad luck on Friday the 13th, you just notice it more. So, Kate, I'm sorry you didn't get to go to your party. I'm sure you would have had a great time. Call a doctor.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
I'm heading to Bannerman Island to investigate a curse. There it is. Boats have been mysteriously wrecked, heading to the island.
We're almost there, but will we be able to land?
Francis Bannerman built this castle and lived here with his family until strange fires and explosions forced them to leave. Is there a curse on Bannerman Island?
We made it.
I'll be back at 1 a.m. to pick you up.
Okay.
I remember that Native Americans didn't like coming here after dark. Am I about to find out why?
Glad to see you made it.
Thank you. Glad you made it.
David Crawford lived on the island with his family before it was abandoned. Both his grandfather and his uncle worked for the Bannermans. David, do you think there's a force at work on the island that's trying to keep people away?
There are spirits here.
He says that Bannerman built part of the building out of an old boat, and you can still hear the spirits of the men who worked on it.
And now and then you'll hear the two bells like the captain's trying to back it off the rocks. Sometimes you can hear a horse run up through, but there's no horses left. There was the bed that at 12 o'clock always shook, just for a few minutes, just a little bit, just to wake you up, and then it would stop again. Nobody could ever explain why.
Could you take me to the place where that happened?
It was right over here.
Could this really be the entrance to the underworld? The Mayans believe that Chak, a powerful god, lives in these cenotes. Wow, this is amazing. Is this the Mayan underworld?
This is the cenote. It's the entrance to the Mayan underworld.
Dive into the water and you find tunnels that are supposed to lead to the underworld. Do you really believe that this is a place of death guarded by Chak and his protectors?
Well, I used to not believe, but I do now, because a dive trip in the past, I had a whole bunch of freaky things go wrong. I felt the negative energy. It was very dark. I was really freaked out.
Melissa depends on her 2 wristwatch computers to guide her out of the dark tunnels. But the first time she dove here, her computers went crazy and started beeping error messages for no reason. She was terrified and thought she'd never get out of there. Do you think that Chak was trying to keep you out?
I'm not sure, but I believe that you should make an offering before you enter the water of any of the cenotes, because they're a sacred place. So if you're serious about going, I can take you to a shaman.
All right, let's go. Melissa takes me and my camera crew to see Rogelio Espinosa. He's a Mayan shaman. He's asking Chak's to let me into his world. And hopefully out, too. We're leaving offerings for Chak, kind of presents. I hope he likes them.
Chak, Chak, Titendeku, Uchala Betik, Bashawanma Betik.
I'm offering a semi-precious stone in exchange for my safety. Meet Memo. He's an underwater archaeologist. He'll be my guide.
You're ready.
Have you ever run into Chak in these caves?
Not really, but once we enter there, there's strange feelings. Just wait and see. Are you ready to go into the mouth of Chak?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Are we on our way to the Mayan underworld? I hope we don't become Chak's permanent guests.
Are you tired of doing homework? Bored with your chores? Then how about becoming the ruler of your own sinkhole? Just like the ones in Mexico. All you need is the new Sink-O-Matic 3000. You can make it yourself. Fantastic. Just get a big styrofoam cup, a thin sponge, a big plastic soda bottle, sugar, sand, scissors, and a piece of paper. Poke a hole the size of your thumb in the bottom of the cup. Cut a circle the size of the bottom of the cup out of the sponge and put it at the bottom of the cup. Make a paper tube slightly higher than your cup, but only half as wide. Now, put the tube in the cup over the hole. Fill the tube with sugar, surround it with sand, then carefully take out the tube. Finally, put a thin layer of sand over the sugar. You've just made a model of the kind of ground where sinkholes form. The sand in your cup is like the soil on top of the ground, and the sugar is like soft limestone underneath it. Now, let's make your sinkhole. Cut off the bottom of the soda bottle, fill it about 1/3 full of water, put your cup in the water, then watch carefully. The water will dissolve the sugar, making a hole underground until the soil on top collapses. That's amazing. It's exactly how sinkholes form in the Mexican jungle. Rainwater seeps into cracks in the ground, and over thousands of years, acid in the water dissolves the limestone until the soil on top caves in, making a cenote or a sinkhole. Now leave your sinkhole out, and don't be surprised if weird things start happening. So make your Sinkomatic 3000 today.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
Strange things have happened to people who dare stay on Bannerman Island. Is it really cursed? Mysterious explosions and fires forced Francis Bannerman to abandon his castle, and other people report strange happenings in the night.
It's almost midnight. That's the time when David's uncle felt something shaking his bed. It's midnight.
This spooky old castle really is creepy, but nothing's happening and I don't hear anything unusual. Just the wind.
It's almost 12:30. I have to catch my boat by 1. I hope Sean made it back. Is he here? He's here.
So how was it?
I didn't see anything unusual, but this place is definitely spooky.
Let's get you back to the mainland.
Maybe it's not a curse. Could there be other reasons for what happens to those who dare go near the island? Maybe the Coast Guard can help.
Excuse me, do you get a lot of emergency calls from boats here?
We do get some from around Bannerman's Island.
Is it true that they mysteriously get stuck as they approach Bannerman's Island?
Well, they get stuck. How mysterious it is another story.
Can you take me to the spot where it happens?
Yes, ma'am, I can do that.
Do you think that there's a curse trying to keep people away?
Not really. It's just basically the area and the weather conditions.
Tom says the shape of this valley could cause high winds that could be dangerous for boats. And there might be something dangerous under the water.
As you can see here, Francis Bannerman built all this harbor back here, which have now deteriorated to the point where they're underwater.
So boats could be running into parts of the castle that are now underwater.
So it seems that bad weather and underwater walls can explain a lot of what's happening to boats that come near this island. But what about the bad things that happen to people who stayed on the island? Remember a man named Francis Bannerman? He built the castle.
But mysterious fires and explosions finally made his family abandon it. Jane Bannerman was part of that family. She was married to Francis Bannerman's grandson.
So you used to sleep on the island a lot, right?
A lot of times we slept in the house which is behind me.
Do you think the island is cursed?
I don't believe there are any bad spirits on this island.
But what about the explosions and the fires? So many bad things happened until your family left.
The electric storms are quite severe here.
Jane says that lightning often struck the castle. Could that have caused the explosions? There's a tour guide on the island that gives me the last piece of this mystery.
Why did Francis Bannerman build this castle?
He needed a place for safe storage, primarily of black powder.
Black powder? That's gunpowder, and it's very explosive. Francis Bannerman used to sell it along with guns, like these cannons, and he needed a place to keep all that stuff.
This island provided a solution where he could build a warehouse to store this material.
With all the lightning hitting the castle that Jane told me about, could have ignited the gunpowder. That could have caused the explosions and fires, not the curse.
Nobody has lived on this island for years. So if there is something here that doesn't want people around, I guess it got what it wanted.
The Mayans believed that these watery caves lead to a scary underworld guarded by the god Chop. Could they really be a place of death? It's so dark down here. It really does feel creepy. Kind of like an underwater graveyard. I wonder what we're gonna find down here. A human skull? How did it get all the way down here? That was pretty creepy.
Yeah, no.
How did a human skull end up in here?
Well, we don't know. This is what we study in the university, trying to find the clues for this.
This sample shows an injury that was healed, but many people weren't that lucky.
Well, I brought these pictures I took of a skull we found in a cenote.
Let's check it out. That's interesting. These were injuries. There was a lot of violence going on. Many people got killed during sacrifice.
Sacrifices? What for?
Sacrifice was to make the gods happy. One of those gods was Chuck.
Like when I offered the semi-precious stone with the shaman at the cenote to show respect to Chuck. It was in exchange for my safety.
Exactly. Well, human sacrifice. Maybe that could have to do with the picture you showed me.
So the skull I found could have been from a person who was sacrificed to Chuck as a gift. So the cenotes really were a place of death, but they also gave life to the ancient Mayans. This was their drinking water. They needed it to live. Today, the Mayans offer precious stones instead of humans, and their sacred cenotes are still filled with rainwater. Is it a gift from Chuck? Who's to say? I'd rather respect the Mayan beliefs than run into an angry Chuck.
I can't believe you dove down into those cenotes like that. Weren't you freaked out?
Are you kidding? Me? Nah. I got nerves of steel.
Oh, yeah.
Araya did have reason to be afraid, Christina. Although there's no concrete evidence that Chuck or any other god is involved, people still do occasionally die exploring the cenotes. And for the record, everyone knows that I'm the one with the nerves of steel around here. Thanks for watching.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, that's one of the semi-precious stones from the Yucatan. They say if you sacrifice it to Chuck, it'll make the rains come. It's worth a shot, I guess.
Seems like that's one legend that's nothing more than a legend.
Remember, things aren't always what they seem.